What is going on, interwebs? Just some Gears of War game. Gears of War game. Holy shit. I think I should go back to sleep. Just some Gears of War 2 gameplay. I would be playing Gears of War 4, but I don't own it. I didn't buy the Ultimate Edition or whatever, you know, that you could start playing the game on Friday instead of Monday. But, I wouldn't even have it then. Don't have the funds. Oh well. But I've missed the last 2 Throwback Thursdays, so I figured what the hell when I just put it up today, since I discovered some news last night while perusing YouTube. It popped up in my recommended. Apparently, and this had been rumored for damn near a decade, because I remember seeing this shit way back when I was in high school, but apparently there's a Gears of War movie coming out, and this is actually confirmed by, you know, one of the top dogs at Coalition, the people who make the Gears of War games. And it was done at some con or expo or something. He was being interviewed, and he's like, it's true, there's a Gears of War movie coming out. They've partnered with Universal Studios, and it's happening. And I'm hoping against hope that they don't fuck it up. Just plain and simple. I'm just hoping that they don't fuck it up, because Gears of War is like one of my favorite gaming franchises. Definitely in my top 5, and
welcome back, Coltrane.
I've loved it since the inception, which is strange, because, you know, when I first picked it up, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I was like, it looks fun, but I don't know. And when I started playing it, I was like, God damn, this is the most fucking amazing thing ever. And hats off to Cliffy B, the guy who started it all, because I absolutely fell in love with the franchise, and I've played every game that came out except for Judgment. And I would have played Judgment when it was free with gold, but I couldn't. My shit was fucking up and it wouldn't let me install it. But I have not played Judgment, and I don't know when I'll play 4, but I'm definitely aiming to play it. You guys will know that, you know, financials are an issue for me since, you know, I just started doing YouTube seriously. Haven't been making, as a lot of people call the YouTube dollars, YouTube monies. I haven't been making a lot of that yet, but I do plan on playing Gears 4 because it is the next main game in the franchise. But it's happening. They're actually making a movie. It is confirmed. It's not speculation anymore. This is straight from one of the top dogs at Coalition, and they've partnered with Universal Studios. There's no set date on the release of the movie or when they're even starting shooting, because they're still casting, they're still hiring, like, directors, producers, writers, all this other shit. I don't even know if they have a script out yet. But since it is happening, you know, I've been mulling it over my head, like, who the hell are they gonna cast for the characters? And he hasn't been talking about it much since, you know, he announced it, and even when he announced it, he didn't offer up much, so it's not like we know it's gonna be Marcus, Coltrane, Baird, Dom, maybe an obligatory Carmine, just to be a slight nod to the game, but we don't even know, like, who the characters are, if it's going to be the same ones from the game, if it's going to be new characters, is it going to be the same story, is it going to be the Pendulum Wars, because there's no game that's come out that's covered the Pendulum Wars. It could be Gears of War, but if it could be covering the Pendulum Wars, or is it going to be covering the Locusts, or is it going to be covering the Swarm, or is it something else entirely with just a Gears of War name on it? We don't know, and I don't think they know either, but I've been mulling it over in my head, and I was like, if they are going to roll with, you know, the guys we have now, well, used to have, since they've come out with JD, Dell, and the other one, sorry, I don't know her name because I haven't played the game. Well, I played beta, but I don't remember her name. if they are gonna go with like Dom, Baird, Cole, and Santiago, fuck, did I say Dom and Santiago? Marcus, Dom, Baird, and Cole. If they're gonna go with those, like, who the fuck are they gonna cast them? And I was mulling it over in my head, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I might have some inclination as to who they would cast. I don't personally know. This is all speculation, but in my opinion, like, when if they go with these guys you see on screen right here, if they go with them, if they want to cast Marcus Fenix, they have to set the tone. I mean, these guys are kind of jacked, you know. They've got to carry all this fucking armor. They got to carry these massive guns. These characters are fucking jacked to the nines. And when I think of Marcus Fenix in a movie setting, the only guy that comes to mind that could possibly play Marcus Fenix...
About time!
I might get a lot of guff for this, but I watched Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. Yes, it's got those really long lulls in action, and you're just like,
taking it deeper into the
what the fuck is going on? Somebody kill someone! But for the most part, Game of Thrones is a decent show, and
we need to check this out.
When you see the guy who plays Gregor Clegane without his shirt on, that dude is fucking ripped. I mean, he's not like cut, he's not chiseled, but he is fucking jacked, and I think he was one of the world's strongest men there for a time. I can't even begin to pronounce his name because he's from Iceland, but I know his last name is like Bjornsson. I can't even begin to pronounce his name though, and I'm not gonna offend him by butchering his name, because he could break me in half.
That's where they're taking people.
I mean, I'm no fucking skinny mini beanpole, but I mean, he would fucking break me in half.
If there's anyone still in there, we're getting come on.
But you know, in my mind, you know, if he speaks decent English, because I've never really heard him talk ever, and I've only ever seen him in Game of Thrones, but I never really hear him talk because he's the fucking mountain, and the mountain now is like a fucking zombie, so he's not even gonna talk now. But if he speaks English and decently, he could easily be Marcus Fenix, because that dude's like 6'9", 400 pounds of just pure badass, kick you in the nuts and they explode assery, you know?
You know how to call
so he would really set the tone as a lead, though he hasn't really been a lead in a movie per se. I know he's been in, I think he's in one of the Kickboxer movies. Might still be filming that, I don't know. But I mean, he's been in Game of Thrones, though he doesn't have much of a talking role. But when you want to set a tone for, like, the main character, you want someone who's going to be noticed. And you can't help but notice that guy. He's very present, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I think the fucking mountain from Game of Thrones would be a perfect pick for, like, Marcus Fenix. Again, if he can speak English. Nothing against the guy, I just never heard him talk that much, so I don't know how good his English is. And he is from Iceland. But when it comes to Coltrane, see, it's sad about Coltrane, because in my mind, like, the perfect choice for Coltrane would have been Kembo Slice. The dude's been in tons of movies, albeit they've been kind of like minor roles, comedic roles, or not leading roles, you know, or not supporting roles. They've been kind of like cameos or stuff you don't take seriously, or it was like a super quick thing. He's never had like a substantial role in a movie as far as I know. But in my mind, Kembo Slice would have been like the perfect choice to play Coltrane. But unfortunately, Kembo Slice passed away recently, so that's not really gonna happen. I guess when it came down to it, you could pick Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You know, he could probably redeem himself after that fiasco that was Doom. I don't know. They might pick Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just because he's The Rock, and he has been getting quite a few roles here lately. I think he could do Cole justice.
We got more locusts on the way.
I think The Rock played football. I think he played for Miami in college. So
Cover that
it would be a good fit. You know, I think he played with Miami in college. And Coldplay Thrashball, which is basically football. I think it'd be a good fit, now, honestly. When it comes to Dom, I would say Michael Huisman, or Huisman, Mikhail Huisman, or whatever. He's the assassin dude that's Daenerys Targaryen's lover in Game of Thrones. She just recently abandoned him in Marine. He seems like a really good fit, because Dom isn't as ripped as everyone else, and neither is Baird for that matter. So I think he might be a good fit. I mean, when it comes to Baird, I really couldn't think of anyone that could play Baird. I tried really hard to think of somebody, and I couldn't. But let me know what you think. Who could play Baird? Drop a like if you liked the video. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you next time.